Oh, and a pre-addendum before we get into the main body of the podcast. I'm sure everyone is at the edge of their seats in this serial of many dramas. The airbed repair worked not totally. It does go down over like 5 hours or 6 hours, but not horrendously so. It doesn't leave you completely on the ground. But so I did have to blow it up in the middle of the night or sort of early morning. That's way better. I actually got some sleep, whereas deflating every 2 hours is just like nope. So I would count that as a success, so I'm going to continue on the trip. I tried the duct tape, doesn't stick to it. I had these kiddies pool sort of repair things, and they barely stick to it. I really don't know what the fuck this stuff is. It's made out of. And I might apply a bit more glue around. I mean, it's going to be fun because I have to take this off before I send it to... I'll probably send it to Thermarest. Or if I do I get their official kit that requires 24 hours. It will... I have to try and get that crap off, and I don't know how easy that will be. But I'm just glad that I don't have to go home. So, on to the podcast. Yes. I'm going to call it a long march because I'm currently well past where I went last night, and I'm currently looking towards the pool, and very oddly someone has put in stones "Laney marry me" on one of the fields, and yes, it's boiling. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not very much. I could try and get to Mupe today. I don't know if I'm going to, but certainly I will get to Tainham and Kimmeridge. Certainly the boilingness and lack of breeze is probably not going to help. I've got plenty of water, and also a lightened pack. I actually took out my paper box, so I'm not going to do any separate things. One pad and just my favourite couple of pens and the watercolours. Like I just couldn't carry all the other stuff on a long walk. I'm lucky to even carry that because it's just too much weight. Also, when I got back last night, I did a repack of taking everything out, and I discovered I'd for some reason taken my 2 base layers with me, which is like I was adding to the weight. I wasn't helping. And I don't know what it is about when you're out here. It's people just yakking away loudly, and it's just like I come out here to avoid, and then you see somewhere lovely, and it's lovely and quiet, and you're in the distance going, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, just go and natter in Corf, or go and natter somewhere else. Spaces like this are, he says in the middle of talking to himself, but literally an empty field. I don't think I'm disturbing anyone. But I'm not going loudly, so it's just incessant, and and you're like, it's a Sunday, so lots of people are out on a Sunday stroll. And I'd say if you're doing the Purbeck, I think it's the Purbeck Way. I think it's called this Ridge Walk or Ridge Way, but I think it's Purbeck Way. I think it's called. I might be wrong. From Corf, there's a really tricky bit where there's 2 paths right next to each other as you hit the road, and there's one right opposite which goes through loads of nettles. I think I've got a few nettle stings by a reservoir. Don't take that path because that is the wrong. It does connect eventually, but you go through a cow field and you're not on the Ridgeway. I wasn't zoomed in enough on Osband to know that there's what looked like there's actually 2 paths there, and I ended up having to. I couldn't get over the fence because it had barbed wire. Eventually I found a gate and scaled over it because I was like, fuck that. So that was fun. And weirdly there's this lovely stone in the middle of the field. It's probably meant to be a bench. It's a bit too shaped to be a normal thing. So I'm just looking over Poole and towards Corfe. I can see the smoke from the steam train. You hear those from the campsite. I can't see. I don't know if I can see Corfe Castle. I think I can. I'm not sure if that's it. But yeah, it's a long way away. So we're gonna motor on and see how we get. It's our last chance to do this walk, this trip, because of the firing on Monday. So I'm gonna. Stupidly, I forgot my head torch. I do have this phone, and also my battery has a light, so I won't be without light. But I might be stumbling on roads late at night, and I'm really kicking myself. But I actually forgot my hat. I went back, and I was like, I'm not going back again for the head torch. And I should have left my emergency head torch, because I've got two, because of course we carry spares. I should have actually left that in my backpack. But this is the thing, is when you unpack your backpack in the tent, you have to remember this is what I was thinking about last night. It's like, what to leave in, what to put in. Don't leave all the shit in it. Take it all out, and then you've got to reverse that process, and it's kind of annoying that I don't have I really wish I had a bigger day pack on this backpack that I could carry and just kind of leave packed for that sort of stuff, and then just go, and then that's where all that shit stays, and then I wish, but I've looked at even the posh ones, the Ospreys and whatever, and their day packs are tiny. They definitely won't fit an A4 box. They'll fit A4, A3 paper boxes, no way. And it's just the problem is, like, how do you carry two? And I've seen those little Sil nylon. I saw. Well, they didn't have them, obviously, because they always have the shopping bags and never the. There's a company that makes Sil nylon shopping bags and day sacks, and everywhere always has the shopping bags and never the day sacks. I don't know how butch they are, but something like that would be wonderful, like a really, really light sort of, tiny sort of. I did have one once, but it fell apart. They're not very well built, but yeah, sort of like a not sort of a light sort of sil nylon, what it's called, type thing, or it's very strong, but something that's very kind of light. It doesn't carry a lot of weight, but I don't have to lug a several kilogram backpack with me. That would help, but as I say, I've not found one yet. I've been looking for years for something that's lighter to take. So anyway, I must press on. And the tumuli, there's a couple of tumuli, and I took a picture of them. I don't know if I think it was. I didn't use it as the last one's image art, but yeah, tumuli. There's a tumuli song. It goes tumuli. I wrote it for John. And there's two on the Ridgeway, and there's one over there. Of course, Ridgeways are ancient trackways, mostly because back in the day, a lot, there'd be dragons. There used to be, especially in this area, I think generally, there was lots of deciduous rainforest, as they call it nowadays. Lots of woods with wolves and maybe probably bears. I think bears back then, and nasty. So that's where you get all those myths about dangerous dark forests, magical forests and stuff. So people used to actually live on and also travel along the hills and ridgeways. And so this is a trackway. It's probably an ancient trackway. It's hard to tell, but the fact that they've got tumuli suggests that. And so you quite often find on ridgeways, you'll find hill forts, tumuli, and burries. If you see a burry, it's always a hint, or a stone, because maybe the Kingston was an old stone. You never know. Sometimes it's a stone cross. Sometimes it's something a bit older. But yeah, so for ridgeways you will find sort of old shit, as we say in the trade. So I better carry on. I'll stand here yakking all day. I'll never get this done. So we'll see how far we get.